Hey everyone, welcome back to The Dish. Continuing awareness with Anna, kind of. We're going to get a little lesson in law from Mr. Harry Revell from Nicholson Revell Law Firm. How you doing?
Great to be back with you. Thank you.
Good to have you back. It's been a little bit. I had your partner on.
Yes, I'm glad I could take his place today.
That's right. Okay, so one of the topics that I wanted to bring up is eminent domain. It seems like it could be affecting a lot of people. Lots of roads are under construction right now. So it could be something that you might be interested in knowing about. Why don't you break down eminent domain, the definition?
Great. First of all, the government has the right to take your property for a public purpose. We see it frequently with land cases, road widening cases, particularly like Flowing Wells Road, Lewiston Road in Grovetown, Furious Ferry Road. This area is just booming with traffic congestion, which requires roads. Okay. And the government can come in and they can take some of your property to devote for a road purpose, but they have to pay you what's known as just and adequate compensation, which is basically fair market value. So there are two requirements. One, when they come and take your property, they have to do an appraisal to determine what the fair market value of the property is. And if the property is damaged or reduced in value by a road widening project, they have to pay you for that reduction in value. For example, if you look at Flowing Wells Road now, the roadway is going to be really close to a lot of those houses out there. So not only are those property owners entitled to what was taken, but damages to what they have left. So if their house is worth less than it was before the project, they're entitled to compensation for that.
So two forms of really compensation, what they take away plus the damages done to any part of your home? That's right.
Okay. What's left. Fair market value. If you have a house and lot that's worth $150,000 before the taking, and it's only worth $130,000 after the taking, that's a $20,000 reduction in value.
Well, and I know that that could probably get a little tricky.
It can.
Right? Because depending on the appraisal or when you get it done, if you didn't have it done, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of factors that kind of fall into how much you get. And so really having representation, somebody who's done it, because I know that you deal with this particular type of case often.
That's right. I've been doing this for over 30 years.
Yep.
I represented the government for 17 years now. I represent exclusively property owners.
Okay.
So it's a combination of appraisals where you get a licensed, qualified real estate appraiser, and sometimes there's some engineering considerations, particularly on a business. For example, if you have a business on the corner that's losing access or the access is changing, you might need some engineering to determine traffic flow, parking, loss of business value, which the commercial properties can be substantial many times.
And so obviously those costs associated with that, you having to incur those, I mean, you're able to get some of that back as well.
That's right. You can get, you have to present, you can actually get a jury trial. It can go to that point just like any other lawsuit where a jury is asked to determine what is this property owner entitled to be paid for what was taken and the damages to what they have left. So,
well, and what's nice about what you just said is that you've been on the government side and you also been on the other side. And so understanding both sides, how it works, I think is extremely important for those people that could potentially be going through that. You mentioned a bunch of roads, for example, Lewiston Road, Flowing Wells, Old Petersburg, which turned into Riverwatch Parkway now.
Riverwatch Parkway and Furious Ferry Road.
So many people being affected by that right now. You could be one. If you need some help or representation, I would suggest going to nicholsonrevell.com, calling them up. Harry, thank you so much for being here.
Good to be back with you.
I always love learning from you guys. Appreciate it.
Nice for having you.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. When we come back, things are going to start to cool down, we hope, and so we want to get you some tips and tricks for your HVAC system. We'll be right back.